With me now, former Chief of Homeland Security and Intelligence for the Government of Washington, D.C., Danelle Harvin, and Rabbi Hiram Shafner, of Kesher, Israel, the Georgetown Synagogue. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here. Rabbi, let me begin with you, because you live in this area, and it's a hop, skip, and a jump from where we are right now, which means it's close to all these major agencies and entities. What have you heard from the community of people around here?
Yeah, I was at a vigil tonight at the White House, in front of it at 8 p.m. And I said to people, I said, how are your friends feeling? How are you feeling? I talked to my congregants. People are worried. People are afraid. Somebody from our congregation called my wife this morning and said, should I send my child to preschool today or not? It's at the JCC and I'm worried. So, what does it mean to be in a country built on religious freedom and be afraid?
That fear is so impactful all across the nation, not just when it happens in some place like Washington, D.C., but it has a ripple effect. And I know the investigators are looking, Danelle, at the suspect's digital footprint as well, a possible manifesto that has been circulating on the web. Could you just describe a little bit about how his internet activity and digital footprint might aid the government's understanding of what he is alleged to have done?
Well, the first thing I'll say is that lone actors are always the most difficult to detect and interdict. That said...
Why is that?
That's because there's no network to interrupt. There's no communications between other individuals. Often these lone actors will reach out to somebody for weapons or some type of tactics to assist them. When they're operating by themselves, they're really operating under the radar unless they have what we call leakage, which is where they may be online and they'll post something against the community, or they'll say they want to do something, which apparently this individual did. If that's done with enough time and people have the wherewithal online to report that to law enforcement, then that's an opportunity to interdict them. But often we see these individuals post these things and then go on immediately out and mobilize to violence.
He traveled right here for a work conference. He had a legally purchased firearm on his hand that he actually declared in his checked bag, no criminal records. Does that worry you about whether copycats, or worry you about the ability to prevent something like this?
Unfortunately, we've known this for the last few years. The last two DHS Homeland Threat Assessments that have been issued by Homeland Security have stated that crimes against the Jewish community are on the rise, and so long as the conflict in Gaza continues, the Jewish community needs to protect themselves against things like this.
Rabbi, anti-Semitism is increasingly, it seems, a tale as old as time, but the numbers have escalated, certainly since what Danelle has described. But how has the rise of anti-Semitism, particularly in the last several years, contributed to the feeling of not feeling safe and being able to be among the world?
Yeah, if you had told me 20 years ago that you wouldn't walk into a house of worship, a synagogue, without police, I wouldn't have believed it. But today it's true. I have congregants who walk around the city and worry, should I wear my kippah? Should I wear my Jewish star? I feel that way sometimes.
What do you tell them?
It feels dangerous. On the one hand, you want to be proud. You want to be able to be an American who's proud of your individual religious life. On the other hand, I understand it. I understand the fear. It's real.
Do you have a sense that there's anything that can be done through legal action, hate crime prosecution, investigations that would make people feel safer? I see from your facial expression it doesn't seem to be.
Well, as you pointed out, anti-Semitism has always been there. It rises and it falls. If it's rising, we have to ask ourselves why. It's a bit of a trope to say Jews are a canary in the coal mine, but if this is happening, we have to ask ourselves, where is it coming from? What does it mean to live in a culture where people are divided, where people hate each other, where that's feeling like it's part of the matrix here? And so a lone actor, right, they might just tune into that. And we have to somehow create, a different kind of culture, I think.
Where does that start?
Well, it starts from all of us. It starts from all of us trying to understand people who are different. We all know that people of, different politics than our own, right? Instead of thinking, oh, they have a different way of seeing the world, we think, oh, I hate them. I got to get rid of them. Right? And we talk about this all the time. But it it enters the hearts of human beings. We have to be responsible for American culture. Jews are just a tiny percentage of the world and of America, and we all have to come together to realize that hatred is not just, we can't just blame what's happening in Israel today or this or that. We have to realize that this is this is the sensitive moment. We have to take this as instruction to build a different kind of society.
Quickly?
I just want to buttress what the rabbi said. Jews make up about 2% of the U.S. population, but last year they were targeted almost 70% in the hate crimes related to the FBI standards. Jewish and antisemitism, hate-related crimes have risen almost 1,000% in the last decade. And so really, less talk, more action needs to happen in order to protect these communities.
When will it end? Donnell Harvin, Rabbi Shafner, thank you both.
Thank you.
Still ahead tonight, it's one of the big questions that is